My brother was Lieutenant Norman Williams. His nickname was Pete. Everybody called him Pete. He flew 59 missions in Europe in medium bombers, and then they assigned him back to the United States and sent him to Bryan Air Base for instrument training. While he was here, one morning, he was in a trainer in the back seat under what they call the hood, so he couldn't look out and see what was going on. But he knew there were two lines of planes on the runway, and he was in one line, and then there was another line next to them. And instead of using a radio, for some reason they decided to use a green light from the tower, and the first plane would receive the green light, pull to the middle of the runway and take off. Then they'd give a green light to the next one. Well, they started this out, and Pete, of course, all the engines were running, so there were a lot of noise. But Pete said all of a sudden there was a lot of grinding of metal and this type of thing, and a big bump, and he looked up, and here's a propeller blade coming down right in front of his face. And apparently two guys got the signal at the same time and ran together. Apparently no one was hurt, but anyhow, they did take photographs, and Pete has a few, and I'm still trying to locate them, and I'm going to give them over to Relish whenever I can find them. It's just one more of the incidents that took place here.
Now that sounds like everybody was kind of in a big hurry, and I guess the big hurry had to do with preparing for the invasion of Japan.
Yes, this is what it was all about. They were trying to get everybody ready and trained again to go to the Japanese Pacific War. Unfortunately, they didn't have to go.
With the dropping of the atomic bombs ending World War II. Now, how did you wind up here in the Bryan College Station area? Because you and your brother weren't originally from this part of the world.
No, we were both from Florida. I went to school and became a registered architect and worked several places around the country, because architecture is part of construction, and you have to go where the people are building things in order to have a business. So after a few ideas like that, I ended up in Houston and spent 6 years there. And fortunately, one of the first jobs they gave me at the firm I was working for was to study the possibility of adding a third deck to Kyle Field at Texas A&M. It turned out it was feasible, and so they gave me the job as project manager to get the design work done on that. And I got to know the people at Texas A&M, and over a period of time, I became employed with the same people here at A&M, and it was a very good experience.
And in that job, you actually did some work out here at what's now the Relish campus, right?
Yes, at that time, of course, it was called Riverside Campus, and it was primarily used for TEKS and for TxDOT on a lot of their experimental work and this type of thing. One of my projects out here was to design a laboratory. It was like a training class for testing people, their driving ability at certain alcohol levels. And so we all volunteered to be the designated drunk, but they didn't accept any of us.
So what do you think about the redevelopment?
I think it's great. It's wonderful. I thought the campus out here was beautiful even before you got started. And I know the other campus at the other school, or the beginning school, is really getting filled up. And I think with the connection with Blinn and this type of thing, that Relish is going to be a great place to go to school.